Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So, I was reading through some comments, and I think I'm going to take a day off from the whole spirituality and some of the thought experiment and consciousness stuff. I think I need to reacclimate myself and maybe focus on one of those topics at a time. Otherwise, like the video yesterday, it's going to be a fever dream where I'm taking Jung and combining him with Goddard and then sprinkling in some reality transurfing and I don't know, all these other things, because I've only been doing this for less than a year. You know, trying to fit all that information into one brain and hoping it sticks and hoping you don't make mistakes is kind of fucking hard. But isn't that the point? Isn't that the point of life, guys? To give it a try, to have some fun, to make some fucking mistakes. All right? But today is not a day for making mistakes. Today is a day for sharing some information that may be basic information for some of you, and you may have never heard of some of these terms before. However, given that crypto is a thing, we're going to be talking about crypto today, I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. But I will tell you that a lot of the people that are currently invested in crypto are probably younger than 20. And it's probably safe to assume that many of them have not taken a tax class, nor have some of them had to pay taxes before. So they have no idea what they're in for. And so the point today is to kind of go over some of the tax table stuff and then how to actually hold your crypto, how to exchange your crypto, how to sell your crypto so the IRS does not come and throw you in jail. Or so you don't lose all of your money and then get fucked by the system. So to start this off, I just want to tell you a story about myself so you guys understand where I'm coming from, because I am carrying forward a loss, a short-term capital loss till I'm 96. 96. And for those of you who know, you can only carry forward $3,000 of short-term capital loss per year, which means that I had to lose quite a bit of money without any gains to knock it out. And that's because I didn't understand how this worked at the time. I made that mistake when I was very young. I hit it guys, I'll be honest, I got incredibly lucky. I went into a penny stock and it absolutely soared. The CEO of this company, he was an enigma. He was awesome. He was always on social media. He was always doing something cool. He was flying around the world. He supposedly had the next best thing, the replacement for propane gas, this manganese gas, which also you could make using the wastes from pig farms and cow farms, which, if you didn't know, that's a huge waste issue that we have to deal with in the United States. So I bought into it, and it went crazy up, and right at the end of the year, right when I thought it had peaked, I sold it. So, if you can imagine, I had bought this thing, I had held it for under a year, I had sold it right at the end of the year, the end of the calendar year, so I had all those gains, and then, what did I have to do with them? Well, I when you're young and you have all that money, and I was never really obsessed with cars or clothes or fast things, so I thought, hey, why don't I just find the next penny stock, huh? I've seen Wolf of Wall Street. I'm a smart guy. And I fucking lost it all. I sold it, and dumbly enough, I threw it back into the same company. Because I thought that maybe after the pump, it was going to have a little bit of a pullback. Usually it's going to pull next to the next lower Fibonacci level. And if it stays within the channel, it will recover and it will go higher. That did not happen. I bought back in around where I had sold. And the next thing I knew, it came out that CEO was lying, that he was a fraud. And guess what? Per usual with the market, the big boys closed the ticker down. You couldn't sell. Next thing I knew, something that I had originally sold for $1.20 and I repurchased around the same thing, maybe $1.15 to $1.10, Next time I could sell it, it was at 5 pennies. And I fucking lost all of it. And this was in the next calendar year. I just lost all my investment money. I had a huge loss, and I was wondering to myself, well, wait, I can't take that loss. And then that was when I figured out I could only use 3,000 of it per year. So guys, it's very important going into this crypto bull run, if you believe this is going to happen, that we understand long-term capital gains, short-term capital gains, long-term capital losses, and short-term capital gains. Or short-term capital losses. My bad there. Just erase that little G. All right, we're going to make it all better. Okay? So long-term capital gain. Let's say you invested in Tesla 2 years ago. Tesla now is up however many percentage points. If you were to sell it and you held it for over a year, this is a long-term capital gain. Anything that you hold for over a year and sell is a long-term capital gain. That means that when you have to pay your taxes, you only have to pay a 20%. You don't even have to pay this 22. It's somewhere in here. Long-term capital gains is a preferential tax bracket. And this is probably a big reason why when I was in taxes, I got pretty disillusioned from society, because it starts to make sense that to make money, you need to already have money, because in order to have something that you can hold for over a year, you probably have to have some money to pay for the bills in the meantime. All right, we're not going to get into the issues plaguing society, but over 1 year, 20% tax bracket. Good. Short-term capital gain. This is a gain of anything that you have, that you've held for less than a year. And how is this taxed? It's taxed in your ordinary tax bracket. So let's say you have a job, and let's say you're making $90,000, okay? So you'd be in this 22% tax bracket right here. Anything above 48,000 is going to be at 22, up until the next bracket at 24. So this entire amount of money in here, from the 48 to 90, you're going to be paying at 22. Everything prior to 48 down to 12, you're going to pay this right here, 12%. And then anything below that, down at 10, and that's how you get your compound tax rate. All right, and then you add in all your deductions and all that spicy shit, and it's good. The goal of this, though, is to understand that these short-term capital gains, they will add up very quickly. And this is what I'm very much worried about with crypto, because some of these coins can pump 100%, 200%, 300% in a week, okay? And then they'll collapse sometimes. So if you don't sell, you're going to be holding a bag and you're going to lose your money. But if you do sell, you better be ready to pay whatever your ordinary tax bracket is. It's not going to be that 20%. Now let's talk about how to limit some of this. Long-term capital losses. One of my favorite things to do, I call it, I'm gonna skip ahead. Crab pot harvesting is where I essentially pick 20 to 40 buckets. Now these can be different investments, different tickers. One could be gold, for example. One could be silver. One could be XRP. Another could be Bitcoin, Ethereum. You name it. Even regular stock market stuff. Doesn't matter. It all boils in together. But I like different buckets. I don't like the idea of all-inning a stock anymore, because I already told you I lost absolutely everything doing that. So within this crab pot harvesting strategy, I put the same amount of dollars into each bucket. And if a bucket goes to 0, that's okay. I want it to go to 0, and I let it to go to 0. The only thing I care about is that it takes over a year to go. So if you can imagine, let's say I have another bucket that is doing pretty well. It has 50% gains, and you threw $20,000 into it. Now you have $10,000 that you somehow have to wash, so you don't have to pay tax on. Well, how are you going to do that? Another bucket could have gone negative 50. You could have lost $10,000. And then you, since you were holding it for over a year, you can sell all of it and wipe out your long-term capital gain with your long-term capital loss. And within this whole sphere of short-term capital gains and short-term capital losses, you can do the same thing. Now, that sounds way easier. It is much more complicated than that. And it takes usually a spreadsheet to do this effectively. But one piece of advice I will say is that usually this happens on the grand scheme of things at the end of the year. I view the end of the year as the reaping, because you reap what you sow. And in my mind, some of the best times to sow is when everyone else is reaping. And what do I mean by that? So if you got a bunch of these really rich bankers, high net worth individuals, you know, the guys with the mega yachts, and they're on hedge funds and they're in Wall Street, and you know the type. At the end of the year, these guys don't like paying taxes. So they send their calls off, or they have a meeting with their tax guy, and they say, hey, we did pretty well this year, right? And he's like, fuck yeah, we did. We did amazing. So, talking about that, you're gonna owe around $20 million in taxes. And they're like, whoa, I don't have the dough. Because a lot of these people that are that high net worth, they don't have cash sitting around. It's all invested somewhere. So they can't pay taxes. So what they do instead is they have a lot of these investments that they don't know if they're gonna pay off. And then at the end of the year, they tax loss harvest them. They sell off their losing positions to wipe out their good positions. And now, why did I say at the start that this is my favorite period to sow? Well, as you guys know, what happens when you sell a stock? It pushes the price down. What happens when you sell a coin? It pushes the price down. What happens when you sell an asset? It pushes the price down. So while they're selling, I'm buying. I smell blood and I fucking love the taste. And that's what we're doing at the end of the year. But we have to do it smart, guys. This is a good time to reset your crab pots. Throw them in the water, you get good discounts. But you have to stay to your strategy. I understand. I get it. When you get some crazy days in the market and things are boiling up and going over, and you're just like, oh, I want to sell it out, I want to cash out, I want to buy a Lamborghini, oh, the new house, the vacation, blah, 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 all this shit. I spill coffee fucking everywhere. Stay to your strategy, okay? I understand that you may want to get rich very quick. Trust me, I have, and I've lost it all. And then I did it again and lost it all. All right, this will keep you relatively safe. Making good investment choices will make you safe. Even adding a double authenticator on your apps when you buy and sell will make you safer, because it's an extra layer of security, not so people don't get into your account, so that you have to click an extra button to confirm whether you want to make that transaction or not, to make that sale or not. So guys, I want you to be conscious of your tax table. I want you to be conscious of when you buy your stuff and when you sell it, and what are the tax implications, and can we better ourselves in such a way that we're making money without ever having a liability to do so. And to kind of summarize this one off and end it, I just want to say that this is not really that important, guys. It's really not. I mean, personally, this is where I came from. I love taxes. I love investing. I love crypto. I think there's so much fun. However, guys, it's not the end all be all, okay? I want you all to enjoy your life, chase your dreams, and push every day to be the best version of yourself humanly possible. This is not the most important thing. If you are waking up every day and this is all you can think about and you're stressed about it, okay, touch some grass. And I don't mean that to sound like a dick, but this can lead to a lot of issues within your life if you let it, okay? Don't take it too seriously. Put it in the box that it belongs as an energy multiplier. Currency is energy. When you take care of your energy, it will multiply. If you neglect your energy, it will dissipate. Okay? That's why a lot of people get rich and then they lose it all, because they dissipate their energy. The second they have energy, they go and give it out somewhere else. This is buying frivolous things and not putting it back into the system, not having a system in play, not understanding how the game works. If you guys want life-changing wealth, if you want life-changing money, then you got to play by the game and play by the rules. So, love you guys. Happy Wednesday. Let me know if you have any questions. Obviously, I don't want to go too far into money and crypto and any of that stuff. So no stock picks in here unless you ask politely. But yeah, be conscious, read about it, love it. If you want a book recommendation that explains some of this stuff very easily, highly recommend Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Probably the only book by Robert Kiyosaki that's actually worth reading, because otherwise he kind of gets into this like egotistical dickhole stage of his life. No judgment on that guy. Otherwise, anything written by Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has a great book about analyzing and breaking down financial statements. So that one is also highly recommended. But get something, okay? It's just a little bit of education, and then we're coming back with spirituality and thought and consciousness tomorrow. But seeing as, this is crypto summer, might as well have a smart little video in here so that all the young guys, if you find it, you feel a little safer at night knowing what you should be doing, okay? Be good. Love you guys. See ya.